Happy day, YouTube. Josie here, your pseudo athlete, artist, yoga, vegan chick, here to say hi on a nature walk. Is veganism a cult? Had some people call it that. I really don't see it that way. But I do see some really crazy angry vegans out there, which is kind of weird because they're supposed to be full of compassion and love, right? Well, we hope so. But it got me to thinking about my experience with a cult, because I actually did spend an evening once with a cult. I didn't realize what it was, but this was a couple years ago, and so story time. So a couple years ago, I was having I was planning this huge art show, and I was doing a lot of advertising for it. So I was downtown pretty much every day, passing out flyers and talking to people. And I met this guy, and I won't name the cult. That's just not. I'm just not going to do that. But I met this guy that had left his whole family. Like, he had a wife and kids and stuff, and like left his whole family to join this cult here where I live. And he was a very, very nice guy, and he convinced me to go have dinner with them one night. And I mean, I just thought it was going to be like a church service type thing, but I mean, I got there, and it was really weird. It was really weird. They were dressed in like these old time clothes, and like they don't, of course they don't have a television. They don't believe in all the technology and all of that, and they believe that pretty much the whole world is sinners and going to hell. And it started at like 8 o'clock on a Friday night, and every Friday night they get together, and they all have their guitars. And I'm thinking, oh cool, there's gonna be singing, and they start singing, and it's not singing, it's like screaming. It's like the loudest, most intense singing I had ever experienced in my life. I mean, like, they are screaming. It was very bizarre. And there were a whole lot of children there, like a whole lot of children. And what struck me about the children was that they looked like they hadn't slept in weeks. I mean, the bags under these kids' eyes were so intense. But so they did this intense screaming. I could call it singing, but it really wasn't. It was screaming. And then we had like a dinner, which it was really interesting because I'm vegan. They were totally at a loss for what to feed me. They did have a salad, which was nice of them, you know, and they actually had a cake that didn't have dairy or eggs in it, so that was kind of nice too. But and then they showed me around their house, and they were like, you could come here anytime you want. We do this every Friday, but you're welcome to come here anytime you want. In fact, you could live here. And I found it so creepy. But after that evening, because I never went back, because I was like, that's just a little weird. Those people, I mean, they seem very nice people, but a little judgmental and a little creepy. And the kids is what scared me the most. The kids, they looked like they needed some sleep. But after that, I ran into the guy that had actually invited me to the cult's house. And once he realized that I wasn't going to join their cult, he wouldn't speak to me anymore. He would not speak to me. In fact, and then I saw him again, and it was like the second he saw me, he took another turn. Is as if he wasn't allowed to speak to me anymore because I wasn't going to join their cult. That was my experience with a cult one evening. It was definitely interesting. But I did tell that story to a couple people and told them the name of the cult, and they were like, don't go hang out with those people. I don't want you to get kidnapped. So apparently this cult has, according to some people, kidnapped people. And that's just really weird. But I can't believe this guy. I mean, he was so young. He was way younger than I am. He was probably like 28 or something. Left his whole family to go join this cult. Weird. This world's beautiful, terrible, and strange. You know, I don't have anything wrong with people being part of a cult, if that's what they choose to do. What I don't like, though, is the judgmental aspect of it and the all or nothing aspect of it, that he wouldn't even speak to me again after that because I wouldn't join their cult. So weird. So weird. Anyway. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. Live in love. Om Namah Shivaya.